Hello, I am Test Drive and welcome to episode 22 of Forza Motorsport. And in this episode, we're going to be using the Subaru Impreza 22B that I won recently. I can't remember exactly when because it's been a while since I've recorded this. Because I have been, out of town, in town, going out of town tomorrow yet again. So, I am slightly out of the loop. So, basically, I have to have this car under 300 horsepower, which I can do pretty easily, obviously. Or, I could give it exactly 300 horsepower. What's I give it? 214. Alright, we'll do 297. And that's all I think I'm... Oh, ooh! They're awful and I love it. Oh, yes. Give me those brake lights. I just ruined the 22B, but I have no fucks given. Let's see if there's anything else that's stupid. That's pretty stupid, but... not stupid enough. Okay, are there any stupid front bumpers? I mean, yes, but, like, they're not that stupid. This one's kind of silly with the grill. Alright, so anyways, now that I've riced my 22B STI, that's like, well, I haven't really riced it exactly because I did add some horsepower. But it doesn't really matter because we are doing the low power open the production cars having less than 300 horsepower, 224 kilowatts. First place receives the Mazda RX-7 Spirit R. These are cars racing against. Of course, those are the restrictions. You can't use a race car because, I mean, that would be kind of overpowered. And in this episode, we are going to be going to New York short, Road Atlanta long, Maple Valley long, and Silverstone long. So, let's get started on this one. Alright, here are our first race at New York. As I mentioned, let's just get going. God, those brake lights are so ugly. I feel so bad now. I mean, like, how could somebody even come up with brake lights this bad? That's my question. For fucking GC8 Subaru. I mean, I know it's a 22B, but like... Well, that makes it even worse, honestly. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's so bad and ugly. So this car seems like it would have 2/3 brake lights, but it doesn't. Let's see, would it be 2/3 brake lights or a 4th brake light? I don't know how that would work. Like having a brake light, a 3rd brake light in the spoiler, and then having a 3rd brake light on the trunk lid or fucking in the back window or something is what I'm talking about. So I don't know. It'd be stupid. It's kind of silly either way. Speaking of 4th brake lights, today I saw, while I was driving home from work, I saw a like a 96, 97 Ford Mustang with a spoiler that had a 3rd brake light on it. But the thing about those cars is that the 3rd brake light is normally in the trunk, and it was still in the trunk, and it actually worked. The one, the spoiler didn't work, and it was, the spoiler was elevated 2 inches above the deck lid, so it kind of made no sense to me at all. Whenever I passed by, I was like, what in the hell is that? And why does it exist? Now, like, I can understand, like, this car, because, like, the regular one is in the fucking rear window, so it kind of makes sense, like, hey, you can put a spoiler that has a 3rd brake light on it, and you just take the brake light out that's in the fucking car itself. So, it makes sense, but, like, other cars, like the Mustang, don't. Or the brake light is already on the outside, on the trunk. So, I don't know. There's my little rant of today. This episode, I should say. But otherwise, yeah, Subaru 22B, fantastic car. I want to buy one in real life, but they're really fucking expensive. But you can actually import these to the U.S. under the whole, like, what is it called? Like, show vehicle something or other, where it's like, if your car is extremely rare, such as a Subaru 22B, or another one that I noted was the, well, there's the Mercedes CLK DTM, I know is on there because I knew because Doug DeMuro's video on the CLK DTM. And also the Porsche 911 Sport Classic is on there, but those are really fucking expensive. I didn't realize that until I looked them up shortly after watching that video. I was like, oh, this is expensive. And also, I thought these cars were like $70,000. The only one I found for sale was like 160,000 US dollars. It's like, I'm gonna pass on that. I mean, if I had money coming out of my ass, like, I would totally go for one, but like, I'll just wait until the normal Subaru STI coupes from, 97, 98 or whatever are importable, and I'll just import one of those and maybe make it look like a 22B, but I'm not going to. I will not spend $100,000 on a fucking Subaru Impreza. That is just something I will not do. I don't care how fucking rare it is. I will not spend over $100,000 on an Impreza. And that's that. And I would really like actually one of these, but like I said, I just, I'll just get a regular STI coupe whenever those become importable, which, I won't have money to buy one until then anyways, so it kind of makes sense. Because it's not like I have, I'd probably go for, well, I'd say they'd probably go for, what, 15 grand, 15, 20 maybe, in really good condition, which is what I would want to buy. So, that's not too bad. Like, shit, I want to spend nearly 20 grand on a fucking 11-year-old Chrysler product anyways, so it's not like it's that much of a difference. Fucking I want a Magnum SRT8 so bad, but they're so expensive. Well, they're not really actually expensive. For how much horsepower you get, for 425 horsepower, you can get them from anywhere, like, you can get them with 140,000 miles for like 12 grand, which isn't really that bad at all, except for the fact that I have no clue how reliable the 6.1 liter Hemi is. I've heard it's for reliability. Like, they do have some pretty major problems once they get above, 110,000 probably. Same with every fucking Chrysler except for Cummins Rams. That's the only ones that actually survive past like 200,000 miles. But yeah, I want to import cars. I want to buy a car. That's what I want to do. But I have no money to do so. Anyways, I got 20,000 credits. I leveled up to level 22. Which I got NGK extended their level of sponsorship. Yada yada yada, 15% off. Thank you so much, NGK. And so we're on our second race at Road Atlanta. Which I bet this race will be pretty uneventful. God, those brake lights are so ugly. Why do I keep having to look at them? Although I'm submitting everybody who watches this video to have to look at them as well. They kind of remind me of the Integra brake lights that I put on the fucking Type R Integra. But like, these are taller, so it makes it worse. There's a lot less lights. There's, like 4 or 5 lights on either side of the fucking Integra, and there's 3 on this. And they're fucking massive compared to the Integras. I have made a mistake. I should not have done this. I didn't realize this car had body kits. Probably because I never actually played enough into the career to actually unlock this car. So I never actually realized that fucking, hey, you can put stupid looking brake lights on this fucking car. But this won't be the end of stupid brake lights. I have at least one more car that will come in probably in the fairly far future. Because I have a really stupid car planned for an endurance that has stupid brake lights. So stay tuned for that on like episode fucking 70. No, it'd be 60, probably 65. 65 or 66, one of the two. But yeah, it's gonna be bad. None of you will like me after that episode. Because of the car I choose and the brake lights I put on it. Even the brake lights, this car is fantastic, but I just can't get over the brake lights. I can't really get over the fact that those are actually a fucking option. I mean, I understand this is 2005. This was the height of fucking Need for Speed Underground 2, style of body kits. But like, bruh, there's a line you have to not cross, and that crosses the line. Like, I guess maybe like LED stuff is still like fairly new. 2009 and newer probably. But like, the simpler fucking, like, not too crazy from stock designs, but are actually like, enough different from stock to be different. Those are the great ones. But these are just fucking awful. I just don't like the chrome. There's chrome where you can get a body color, which is also ugly. Like, why was this a thing back in 2005? Although I'm not much of a fan of upgrading cars' appearance generally in general. I mean, like, I can understand, oh shit, what? Camera had a sad there for a second. I can understand, like, well, what I want to do with cars, and what I like seeing done with cars is taking something that you own, maybe it's old, like say my fucking Ford Ranger, for example. So taking that, a car like that, and keeping like a stock look, but it doesn't have to be stock. Say like it looks like something that could have come out of the factory. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Or it's something that if that exact car was produced today, would be on the car from the factory today, like, you know, LED lights and shit. Like I actually, to an extent, I like LED brake lights, and not so much in the headlights. I'm not really much of a fan. I'm not really much of a fan of anything past like normal fucking halogen headlamps. I don't like xenons. I don't like all the blue ones and the LEDs, and I'm not a fan. But like I said, fucking LED brake lights though, and all that, especially if they keep the same kind of proportions as the original brake lights. Yeah, I can see those. Sadly, I haven't found anything like that's really suitable for my truck. They do make some pretty cool ones for Rangers, but it's weird. I actually prefer having the amber turn signals on the back of mine because it was only a 2-year set of brake lights is what they or how long the ones that my truck have lasted. I think they were only 98, 99 if I remember right. If even that, like it might have been like 98 to 99 and a half or something. But like they make some pretty nice ones that are like the newer style, but they're all LEDs. And they look pretty clean and they're not too bad looking. And smoked brake lights and headlights aren't too bad, although they do really make your car look stupid during the night because they make your brake lights not work as well, and your headlights. Actually, no. I think my headlights in my truck are just fucking. They don't have the like a lot of headlights have a little shield in front of them that reflects light back onto the housing, and then that light reflects out and then goes to, you know, in front of you. I don't think my truck has that. I'm pretty sure my truck just has a straight up fucking light bulb that goes, you know, it lights up everything. That's why the headlight of my truck, or headlights, have all the crazy fucking plastic shit that makes it hard to see through them. Like, it's impossible to see through the headlights of my truck. So, I'd like to replace those with actually something more modern looking, like clear headlights. That would be nice. Or not yellow headlights would be a good start as well. Alright, on to our third race at Maple Valley Full. And I think I'll continue my little one-sided conversation about modifications. But yeah, so really want to do what I want to do with the exterior of my truck at least, which is going to come after I try and do all of the interior and engine related stuff. Well, not really engine related stuff. I just want to get it, you know, fixed up. Like, you know, replace the exhaust because it has like 5 holes in it somewhere, and I'm not sure of where. I just can tell that it has a few exhaust leaks because you can hear them in the front, you can hear them in the back, towards the back of the truck. Yeah, I need to fix those. But other than that, after that, I'm gonna work on doing some body or exterior modifications. As I mentioned with the whole light situation, I'm not sure if I want to do anything with the brake lights, but I definitely want to make the headlights brighter at least, because they're not fucking bright at all right now. Which I'm thinking what I might do is just get some high intensity, or I think you get like high intensity halogen. I don't know. Just get brighter headlights somehow. I may just, you know, clean off the existing headlights and actually clean them because they're plastic and they're fucking yellow. And I'm sure that's blocking a lot of light from getting through them. Or I might do that, or I might try and find an aftermarket set, like I said in the last race, that are actually like perfectly clear and don't have all the, you know, fucking shit that tries to diffuse the light or whatever, which I think is silly because they stopped doing that in like 2003 or something. Well, with the Rangers, they stopped doing that in 01, I guess, because my front end was the last one to have that, and it ended in 2000. So I'll do that. And other than that, I want to keep the outside pretty much stock, but like make it look like the fanciest stock Ranger, aka the Sports from '98. Because in '98 you had the XL Ranger, which was, you know, the base model work truck, fucking rubber floors and white paint and nothing else. Probably not even extended cab. And then on top end, well, actually, you had that, and then you had the XLT, which is what mine is, which basically said, here, you can have options, but we won't give them to you unless you ask for them. So that's why my truck is like the upper model, but it has like no fucking options. It has step side, extended cab, and a gauge package. which gave me a tachometer. That is the options that my truck has. And then above that, you had the Sport, which was really just a package for the XLT, I believe. And of course, being Sport, just like the Dodge trucks of, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s, the Ranger Sport was just, you know, fucking take the truck, put body-colored bumpers on it, and body-colored bumpers and grill, and then do nothing else. And well, they may have given you some more options like standard with that. I have no clue really. I just know that the body panels are painted. It's all monochrome, which is what I want to do with my truck, which I've already kind of started to do. If you've ever seen my truck, it looks like, you know, it's monochrome, but don't tell anybody that the grill, front bumper, and even the left front fender are all just primered. That doesn't really matter. Don't worry about that. I'll fix it eventually. I'll get it painted maybe in a year or two. I've already driven around with the fucking fender like that for a year and a half now, I think. Or at least a year. So it'll last. I mean, the primer doesn't really exist on top of the fender anymore, and it's kind of spotty, like, you know, surface for us. But yeah, don't worry. Just don't worry about that. I'm already gonna throw out through this track. Holy shit. But I'll do that. I'm gonna upgrade to the bigger four-wheel drive wheels and put smaller tires on them to try and replicate the wheel diameter of what my truck has now, because you put basically the same amount of tire sidewall, I guess, like how much sidewall you have around the tire on the four-wheel drive as a two-wheel drive. So it actually has a bigger diameter in general with the four-wheel drive and four-wheel drive tires. So you put smaller tires on the four-wheel drive wheels, and you have basically the same diameter as the two-wheel drive wheels, because I don't want to fuck up my speedometer and, you know, all that shit, and I don't have to worry about that. So I want to do that. The body panels, you know, maybe get the entire truck painted. That's crossed my mind many times, because the entire truck is kind of just covered in scratches. And other than that, that's about all of the exterior mods I have planned, besides putting, you know, the factory fog lights in, but I kind of have holes for those already. And don't actually have the fog lights because my truck didn't come with the fog lights option. I just bought the fucking lower valance that had the fog light holes, and I have nothing else that relates to fog lights except for a button on the inside. Although it doesn't do anything because it's not plugged in anything. But that's basically my plan with my truck. I want to focus most of my modification efforts on the interior, because I want to use it for road trips and shit, and I want it to be comfortable as hell and also nice to just be in. So I'll be working on that sometime in the near future, hopefully, and see what goes on from then. But I think, was that the last race? No, that wasn't the last race. I have one more race, I think. Alrighty, and on our final race at Silverstone, in the land of gloomy fucking skies, basically. That's what I'm gonna call this from now on. I still can't get over these brake lights. They're horrible. I know I've said it at the beginning of every race, at least. But fucking goddamn, they are garbage fucking lights. I do not approve of the 2005 modifications of fucking cars, for the most part. Some stuff actually kind of looks good, but like, this sure shit doesn't. Speaking of random cars with modifications, especially one I don't actually have planned to use at the moment, the Volkswagen Corrado has aftermarket brake lights you can buy, and they're kind of like this style, but like in the shape of the Corrado's brake lights. Actually, they're like basically like the stock. They're set up like the stock brake lights, but they have the fucking chrome shit in between instead of just nothing. So they're pretty ugly still, and it still surprises me to this day that they actually has fucking aftermarket brake lights in this game for whatever reason. I'm guessing that that's a true modification, like one that exists in real life, because I'm pretty sure all of the modifications in this game, except for or all of the body modifications except for the Forza aero bumpers and the spoiler, I think all of that is like real stuff. So yeah, some companies had some bad taste. One I always remember, one modification, I guess, company that I always remember from seeing it in, I guess, magazines was, I think it was RK Sport or something like that. But you could literally buy a fucking body kit for your Chevrolet Trailblazer, and it was mostly GM products they had. I think there was Focuses and stuff too, but those were pretty obvious for being, you know, tuner cars. But like, they had an extremely ugly body kit for the Pontiac Solstice, and I think they even had one for the Saturn Sky. And then, like, you know, the Chevy SSR had a body kit, and, like, you could buy a body kit for your fucking Chevy 1500 truck. It's like, what even in the hell? At least they weren't, like, lights. They were just, you know, bumpers, and I think they were just bumpers, really. Bumpers and side skirts. So they weren't that bad, but, like, they were still pretty fucking ugly. I'll have to, like, look that up now and see what all cars they actually had body kits for. Because I'm sure they don't have all of them anymore because, like, the Pontiac's fucking Solstice hasn't been in production since 2009. And I think they may even had body kits for, like, the Pontiac G6 and shit like that, too. So, yeah, that's a thing that exists. Fun fact. 2005 tuning community was strange. Tuning scene, I guess. Modification scene. Especially if you, like, look at, like, the extreme guys, like, especially the fucking mini trucks. Well, mini trucks were mostly in the 90s. They didn't really do crazy shit with them too much in the 2000s. Like, my truck would have been a prime fucking donor for some crazy modifications back in, like, 1998 when it came out. Yeah. That was an interesting community. If you haven't seen any of that, you should definitely check it out. Because, like, there was a mini truck magazine. I don't know if that's still around or not, but there was, like, a mini truck magazine. There was fucking, you know, lowriders. Even though they still kind of do exist. I have seen them around a few times, but, like, for the most part, they've died out. And, I mean, for good reason, I guess. I'm sliding, apparently. That was a thing that just happened. The thing is, though, is my truck actually has... I think I'm going to stick with my original plan, which was for the brake lights. I know I'm talking about brake lights, though. But for the brake lights, I actually replaced just the brake lights themselves with LED bulbs a while ago, and I made a video of it on my real life channel, which you can check out fucking in the description below. But I replaced those with LEDs a while ago, and they still work fine, and they've been, I think they're brighter than the stock bulbs. So I think what I'm going to do, and I've actually also replaced the backup lights, but those aren't really important. What I'm going to do, I think, is going to be, I think you install a resistor, I think it is. If I'm right, it's a resistor. In, like, the line to your fucking turn signals. And you can replace your turn signals with LEDs, and they won't flash fast like they normally would, because the fucking car's like, oh my god, the light bulb's burned out because there's not enough resistance, or there's too much resistance, or something. So you just buy one of those things, you know, fucking put it in the wiring harness, and then and then you can actually have turn signals that flash at a normal speed, which would be nice, because right now, like, I have a mix and match of fucking LEDs and normal light bulbs. It'd be nice to have it all uniform. And other than that, I think there's not really much else besides, like, maybe I'll get a tonneau cover for the back, just because I don't really use the bed for anything, because it's too fucking small to use it for the one thing I would use it for, which is fucking transporting a four-wheeler, so I have to do that with a trailer anyways. I think I'll get a tonneau cover, and that's really about all I have planned for the exterior of the truck. Balls! I survived somehow. That was a fucking long-ass slide. So, yeah, that's the idea that I have for right now. The ideas. I'm sure they'll change at some point, but whatever. I don't really care. And good timing, because we are at the end of the race. Lap 3 done. Race 4 done. Final race done. Got ourselves another 20,342 credits. Didn't quite level up. I'm at 666,670 credits. That is quite a number. And let's head back to the main menu and see what we got. Ooh, Spirit R. Fun fact, just today, when recording this, Gran Turismo Sport just got announced that it's going to have a whole bunch of updates added. It makes me really want to buy it because it's going to have a single player and it's going to have a Spirit R. And I want both of those things. Actually, I want the Spirit R, and I want the 69 Corvette that it comes with. And the funny thing is I could actually use my old Fanatec wheel on PS4 and play GT Sport with it, so I don't have to play with the controller. But there's a Spirit R. I'm going to have a shitload of money for about 450,000 credits, which is pretty damn decent, because I definitely do need it for other stuff, especially in like fucking these first two things, because I haven't finished all those yet. And there's our number of events completed, and here is my stats. So thank you all so much for watching, and I am out of here. See ya.